Mona Lisa, everyone's lining up to see her. There must be something about
Assalamualaikum
a
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We from group 6 will presentation our material. It is about problem behavior and what to do about it. With my partners Aprilia Nurmalitasari and Muhammad Risnanda Imawan.
Okay, the material is why the problem occur. Why the problem arises is affected by some factors, both internal and external factors. In internal factors, the first is the family. The student experience in the family can influence their attitude to learn that causes student to behave a difficult way. Number 2 is education. Education means unpleasant experience or memories in learning also affect why students misbehave. Number 3 is self-esteem. Self-esteem means a lack of respect from teacher or peers can make students feel frustrated and upset. Number 4 is boredom. Boredom means when the student engages a task or topic, there may be no problem, but when they are bored, it can cause interference and show a lack of interest by misbehave. The next is external factors. Some external factors can also affect student behavior, such as the too hot or too cold classroom condition, discomfort, and noise. And the last is what the teacher does. What the teacher does means when the student feel the teacher is being unfair to them, then it tends to be bad behavior in the future. That's why the problem occur. Okay, thank you. And the next material will be delivered by Mbak Ocha.
The next material is preventing problem behavior. First, creating a code of conduct. An effective way of establishing a code of conduct is to include the student's own opinions in the code. This will frequently be as responsible and forthright as anything a teacher might come up with. Some teachers adopt a formula where teacher and students produce a chart which says, as your teacher or learner, I expect, as your teacher or a learner, I will. This document can be put on the class notice board for all to see. Then, when students are disruptive or uncooperative, they can be referred to the code of conduct and expected to abide by rules and norms which they themselves agreed to. When a code has been thus democratically arrived at with everyone having a say and coming to an agreement, it has considerable power. Next, teachers and students. First, interest and enthusiasm. Students who are interested and enthusiastic do not generally exhibit problem behavior. When we plan our classes, therefore, we need to bear in mind the need for such qualities as flexibility and variety. Interest can be also be generated by a teacher's performance. There is no doubt that students can be engaged by the energy and enthusiasm of their teachers. Second, professionalism. Students generally respect teachers who show that they know what they are doing. This can be demonstrated not only by our knowledge of our subject, but also by evidence that we have invested time in thinking about and planning our lesson. Third, rapport between teachers and students. A critical aspect in the prevention of problem behavior is the rapport we have with our students. This can be greatly enhanced by making sure that we listen to what they say with interest.
Okay, the next is about reacting to the problem behavior. Sometimes teacher should react to the problem behavior, and it is depend on the type of disruption. So how to react to the problem behavior if it is happen in a school? The first is act immediately. It is important to act immediately. It will more difficult to deal with it if teacher don't act immediately. So act immediately, such as stop talking or looking at the student. Act immediately doesn't mean act more than stop talking and look the student. When their student make a problem, um, for example during the lesson or in the break time, action immediately sometimes is needed. Teacher reacts depending on the type of disruption. The second is about focus on the behavior, not the student. Call the student down, like to compare the student to others, give student reaction excessively will create hostility between the student in the class or damage student self-esteem. To be a teacher should be careful when give student notice because it will affect the student's life, especially in the class. The teacher doesn't need to remind the student's background, family, or economic or culture. The teacher need to be focused to solve the problem on the student behavior than student's background. So the next is give positive vibes. Teacher need to think carefully about how to respond student behavior. It is usually more active for a teacher to say, let's do this, rather than don't do that. How teacher decided to how to treat their student is very give effect on the student feeling. It is always better if teacher be positive than negative. The next is uh, reprimand in private. It is appropriate to discuss the student's behavior in private. Disciplining student in front of the class will not help solve the problem. Eye contact is also needed in this case. Teacher can try to talk with student after the class, then talk about their problem and how to solve it. It will give student chance to talk without other people listening. The last is about keep calm. Many teachers have reported that there is effective way to reduce noise in the class. Speak quietly will change the situation while shout, which will increase the level of noise. When there is a student make a noise, teacher can speak quietly for a moment so that student will stop talking in order to hear what is going on. Okay, the next is what to do about it. What to do about it in this presentation means that if someone or students doesn't want to speak English, so what should teacher do? Well, there are many problems that maybe teacher will find in the class, such as failure to do homework, cheating in the test, or unwillingness to speak in target language. As an English teacher, make students to speak in English just like a duty for the way to be success in education. But sometimes it is possible if the student more use their mother tongue rather than English in communication in the class. Based on the problem, so how to about it? Okay, the first is about set clear guidelines. Students need to know when they speak in English. It is mean make a rule with them is the best way to make students speak in English. The rule that English is used when they are on the teaching learning process and mother tongue is used when they don't have class in teaching learning process, especially in English subject. The second one is about choose appropriate task. Choose the task according at their level of English. It is also fine. Give them challenging activities or fun sometimes. And the last is create an English atmosphere. When teachers speak in English, at it is possible, gives them English atmosphere so that they will speak in English too. That's all the explanation from five fifth groups. Thanks for your nice attention, and as I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.